Hello Pisces! Thank you for tuning into your love read. For this week I'm using the Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan for the main tarot cards. Toro? Okay. And for the supportive oracle cards, Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. Okay. Relationship first, single second. Oracle cards come out where needed. Okay. I do want to put a couple of these cards out. Stop. 2 cards, both on your partner's side. The strongest thing I'm feeling right off the bat is this King of Cups for your partner, how they feel for you. But they also have protection here. When I'm feeling the King of Cups and then the protection gives me a little bit of an earthy feel, even though it's a bird and bird is air. You definitely have me there. But I'm getting this protection feel. You know what? One of the reasons might be this. What's actually happening here is the 5 of Pentacles on their side. And that's the Pentacles card. But I'm feeling like they're trying to protect you or trying to be protective of a situation. Like protective of the future is kind of what I'm feeling here. Like where they want things to go down the line. They're like long-term success is dependent on them not giving in. And I almost feel like the whole thing here is that they just got to win you over and things will be fine. But they also got to realize how you're feeling. It's not just about, you know, all right, so I feel like they're like trying to conserve to the point where it's just like, you're like, I'm thirsty and there's like drips of water coming out of the faucet. I have to wait an hour just to get a glass of water. I think I might die before I get it. Like it's that type of feel. Like I need a glass of water. I mean, you need water to live. And it's like a drip, 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 and you're like, by the time this glass fills up with water, I'm going to be so dehydrated, I might just be dead. So it's just kind of like, it's that stringent. You're like, it's a bit overly restricted. Too much. And they're like this. They love you to bits, and I get that, but they're feeling like as long as they hold true and hold very stringent to these rules, whatever these rules are, things will work out, and things long-term will be very, very, very good. See, I feel like there's too much. There's too much restriction. They've got the 5 of Pentacles, but part of the 5 of Pentacles is sometimes feeling a lack. Not that there is that much of a lack, but feeling, like the feeling there is. Their challenge card is the Magician card. They can release some, but they're afraid if they release, it's kind of like they're afraid if they give an inch, they're going to lose a mile. That's what they're afraid of. But they have to realize that they're going to have to back off at least a little bit. Like, they can give in a bit here. And that's their challenge card, is to use that Magician card to edit the situation to make it more relaxed, more comfortable for both of you. Now, I really do, again, feel they just got to win you over to understand where they're standing. And, like, I feel like the 2 of you together can come to an agreement, like, what is, like, how much you can afford to give in this situation and how much to keep your desired goal you need to keep to the side. I don't think it's that big a deal, but for some reason they're really nervous, like, I give an inch, I'm going to lose a mile, and just, like, it's all going to come out, like, it's all going to come unraveled. It's kind of like one loose thread in a shirt. You pull that thread, and it's just like, before you know it, you've lost a sleeve, and you're just like, well, the shirt's going to be ruined then. They're worried here with the 5 of Cups, kind of like, you know, it doesn't take much to lose the whole situation. I feel like it's a little bit, it feels a little over dramatic, just a little bit. Which, as a Pisces myself, like, that's saying something. That's saying something. Now, the thing is, you're working with this energy. You're working with your partner. You got the 10 of Wands, and you're like, I'm not trying to sink the ship. So you're trying. Maybe this is your challenge too, because you're trying to work with this. You're like, I'm not trying to sink the ship. I'm trying to go with the flow. All right, you think we got to conserve way too stringently, but okay, I don't want to rock the boat. And yeah, down the road it will be better. It will be nice. But I feel like it's kind of like you feel like you're choking to death here. It's just kind of like, again, the drip from the faucet, the drip into the cup, the drip, drip, drip. You're like, by the time I get a glass of water, I'm going to be dead. I'm going to die of dehydration, I'm sure of it. It's just, this is ridiculous. All right, so we're going into a better energy, and I do feel this is going to happen. But actually, I feel it's kind of you. And you seem to be pulling together the queen, the Nine of Pentacles, which I'm getting kind of a queen feel with there. Don't get caught up in the gender of any of these cards, even the king cards, because you got one coming up on your side too. But I'm getting this like emotionally developed, looking out for others, knowing what you think, and standing strong with your own feelings, your own conviction. That's the queen energy to me. So it doesn't matter if you're male, female, other, whatever's going on. It's like knowing where you sit emotionally and standing by that and moving it forward and not backing down just because somebody says this or somebody says that. Knowing where you stand and having that self-loyalty. I'm kind of feeling that here with the Nine of Pentacles for you. And it's coming in with the Hermit saying, think this through. Think this through. What, like, it's kind of like, so we got the drip of water for an analogy. All right, we need to let this faucet go a little faster so that you can, like, even if it takes you a whole minute to get a glass of water, you're like, well, that's a while, but I can work with that a lot easier than this drip, drip, drip. So it's kind of like, how do you make the water flow faster, if you will? How do you get this a little bit more? To what level can we go to where your partner's not feeling like everything is in danger, but you're feeling at least like you can live with it? Because the way it is now, I feel like you can't really live with it. And they're saying, use your mental capabilities with the Hermit card, and like, what do you need? And then when you decide you need, like, this is how much more I need to be so I can live through daily life, so I don't feel like I'm just like living through this torturous existence until we finally get to our goal. I can't live like this. I feel tortured. What do you need to change so at least you don't feel tortured? Because I kind of feel that's the energy we got here. Excuse me. And then your challenge is to stand by that and just keep kind of stoning your partner until you get it to that level. Kind of like, I don't want everything, like, I don't want to destroy where we're going. I don't want to destroy the goal, but we're going to have to back this off. And I feel like you just got to keep coming at it, keep coming at it, keep coming at it. Because you got the King of Pentacles coming up on your side. Again, don't get caught up in the gender. But this is telling me this is somebody who also, they like hold to what they want. And one of the reasons the King is successful in the King of Pentacles land anyway is because they don't give up. They're like, this is what I want. And they try to get up this wall and somebody knocks them down. They're like, no, I'm going up this wall. And they knock them down again. They're like, no, I'm going up this wall. And they will keep going and keep going until they finally make it up the wall. And that's kind of like one of the gifts of Earth. Not backing down, not giving up. Like, no, I said I'm doing it. I don't care how many times you knock me down. It's just going to make me more angry, but I'm going to make it work. It will happen. And you got the spiritual card. Is this the 8 or 9? That's the 9 of Cups. Oh, you got both 9s. You got the 9 of Pentacles and your challenge, the 9 of Cups spiritually. You need to get this to a place where you're comfortable. It doesn't have to be extravagant. Just to where, like, you know, you can get a glass of water and not feel like, you know, you're waiting a whole hour, hour and a half to get one glass of water, you know. You need to just change it to that point. And I'm getting, you can be very happy that way. Very happy that way. Just hold to it, what you need. Because what I'm getting is, like, you just have to not only say, this is what I want, but that's it. This is where I'll be happy. This is where I'll be happy. And just keep stoning it. I just feel like you're stoning it. It's going to make your partner nervous, and I get that. It's going to make them nervous. They got the 5 of Cups there. Yeah. But I feel like once that you get there, once you get this kind of going that way, hold to it. Hold to it, and things get a lot better. You get the Star card on your partner's side. Now, I do understand, and I'm connecting to this as a Pisces. I'm a single Pisces, but still. You're going to want to kind of like change the plan or something. You're going to want to like, all right, now that I got this, now it's going faster, I'd like to just enjoy life. Can we just enjoy life and just let go of this goal? I just feel like the stringent, it's very stringent, and you don't really care for it. It's just kind of like, this is like, but they're saying let it go. I actually also feel this is kind of doubled in the sense of like, I don't feel like you're into this the way the things are restricted, But I also feel like you're just kind of like, well, I got this far. As long as it stays where it's supposed to be, I'll just let it be. It's weird because part of it, I feel like you're not really into it. Like, you know, it's almost like saving and saving and saving, like constantly saving money, saving. You're like, I'm so sick of saving money. I'm over it. I'm sick of it. But you got the allowance up here, and you're kind of like, you know, you got the more water flowing, the same analogy. You know, like, I feel like you're kind of going to be okay with it, just kind of like, all right, these are my new circumstances, I'm just going to accept it and move on. Because I'm getting the Seven of Swords, it's just kind of like, not looking at it like you're saving or restricted, but just kind of like, this is just what I got, and this is just what I got to do with this situation. Because I feel you kind of walking away from it kind of like, in the sense of like, if it's the water, or maybe saving money is a better analogy. Say normally you would have, just for argument's sake, just to be extravagant, you had $300 a week just to blow on what you wanted to, just normally, without saving money, without trying to conserve. And your partner pushed it down to like $50 a week, and you're just like, this is really too little. So you got it up to, you know, 125. And you're like, this is better. This isn't quite where I'd like it to be. I prefer the 300, but at least it's up here. At least it's up to like the 125, and I can deal with that. It's not, I can't have as much fun as I'd like to. I can't do as many things as I'd want to, you know, because you're doing what you need to do with that. But you're just accepting, like, from now on it's 125, and that's how it is. I hope this analogy is making sense, because I feel like you're just kind of like, you're not thinking about the restriction anymore. You're just like, this is just what I have, and that's all I can do. That's just what it is. Because your partner has the Page of Pentacles here. It's matching up with your Seven of Swords, and it's going into the Seven of Pentacles. Kind of like, it's just kind of like it's like constructing a new normal. It's restrictive still, not as restrictive as it was, but I feel you're just kind of like glazing over on it, because kind of like, well, this is just what I got from now on, and you're not thinking about what's being saved. You're just kind of like, you're not even considering that like an option anymore. You're kind of looking at it like, well, this is just what I have. I just have 125 a week, and that's just what it is. And that's all it's going to be, and you're just leaving it behind. The Seven of Pentacles is telling me, like, you are conserving for the future, you are taking care of the future, you're just not thinking of it, you're just kind of letting it be. Your partner's the one who seems to be looking after it, and you're just kind of like, well, it is what it is, and I'm just accepting my new normal, and that's what I'm going to go with. Are we good? I think we're good. So basically, you're just accepting the new normal. You're getting things to improve, and then you're just accepting the new normal, and you're just kind of like going with it from there, like, this is just how it is. And your partner is looking after the main part of the situation. I just feel like this works best for both of you, actually. I don't see either person really slighted by that. Just kind of how it's going. So I hope that helped. Let's see what we have for single Pisces. What do we have for single Pisces? I don't know if I want to cut them or not. No, I don't. Okay. Lately I've been getting like little messages when I do these, but today, well, so far, it hasn't happened. Oh, the Lovers is at the bottom. Okay. Let's do a couple of these cards. The Lovers is at the bottom. I'm wondering if this is taking a while to actually come together. There's a problem here. But it's not so much with you in the sense of, like, I don't feel like you're emotionally stunted or anything like that. I feel like the other person is having some emotional issues. Excuse me. Emotional issues. Not bad. Like, this is a general read, granted, but I feel like it's, I feel like it's heartbreak over, like, not for you or for someone else specifically, but, like, this person has been trampled on a few times. So this is what I have in the environment. The Three of Wands with the action. And I feel like the Three of Wands is actually blocking the action at the moment. Someone does like you. Someone does have, they want to move towards you. But, like, I feel like this is pain from the past, Not from, like, I don't feel like it's literally a specific person, but I feel like this person has had their heart trampled on a few times. And they're nervous about moving forward because I feel like once they latch into somebody, latch onto somebody, like, I don't want that to sound bad, but, like, I feel like that's basically how this person is. They connect with somebody and they get very devoted and connected, and they're like, we're in it for the long haul. That's how they connect. When they get with somebody, they're like, I want to stick with them. I don't like the idea of moving on. You have problems, you work through problems. Life is about problems. You don't give up. That's the energy I'm feeling here. But this has been used against them many times in their life. And they're looking at you and they're like, I could fall for this Pisces. But they're like, love has not been good to me. Love has been rough on me. And they're like, I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I want to set myself up for another fall. And they're nervous. It's not Three of Swords towards you. It's just like, I feel like they're having a hard time getting over something. And it's hindering the action for right now. Now, what I'm getting for you in the past is like, this is somebody that you've already been interested in going forward with. But it's kind of like there's either good conversations or a good moment, and then it just kind of like, it disappears for a while. And then it comes back every once in a while and there's some more conversation. But, but it's just like nothing ever really jumps forward, and it's just kind of like, are we just kind of like friends that see each other once in a great while? And that goes in whatever context you need it to be. Like, if that's physical or not, that's up to you. You know what you're dealing with. But it's just kind of like, are we just friends? Are we just chatmates? Do we just chat once in a while? Do we have some commonalities? Like, I think they like me, but then they seem to back off. And you're like, I would like to go forward with this one. No. Sorry. No. Go lay down. Go on. I know, I'll play with you later. Go on. Okay, so the fact that it just kind of, like, the Chariot is here. You would like to go forward, but you got these two cards. That's the thing. Two of Swords at the top and the Five of Pentacles here where you're standing. You can't seem to move it forward. But I feel like you've given a green light to this person. I feel like you've given a green light to this person. It just, nothing seems to happen. And you're like, maybe there's really nothing here. Maybe they just want to be friends. Maybe it's not really there. Maybe you're flat out aware of it, though. Being a Pisces, you might be kind of like realizing that they're reluctant for reasons beyond your control. Kind of like you're seeing that they're interested, but you're realizing they're having some type of problem there. Something's holding them back. And you're questioning, like, is there really anything that can come of this? Like, you're looking at them kind of like, maybe they're in a spot where they just really can't get over this. And it's not my fault. It's not their fault. It's just where life is. Maybe I'm just going to have to move on from this. The thing is, you got the Ace of Pentacles here with the Queen of Cups. I feel like this person, well, I feel like this is you and this is the person. They're holding back how they're feeling, but they're starting to really think of you more. They're thinking of you more. They'd like to be around you more. They like to converse with you more. Something. They would like more. They're still kind of resisting it, though, at this point. The thing is, you have this Ace of Pentacles here, which the Ace of Pentacles can be very much like the seed of a willow tree. Which I feel like that's a strange analogy, but still. When you plant the seed, you know, it's going to be a while before you see it popping up. You know what I mean? But once it starts popping up, you're like, all right, now we have to get through a couple years. And once a couple years goes by, you're like, it should be pretty stable, and it just gets bigger and stronger as it keeps going. So what I'm getting here, what I'm trying to say, I feel, is that this person already has your attention, and you're still open to them. Nothing has happened here. I don't feel like you've been insulted. I don't feel like you're like bothered by this person, or you feel like, they're making you work for it, or they're messing with you, or you don't feel anything like that. If this reading is hitting, there's no animosity. You're just thinking they, for some reason, can't move forward. But they're getting your attention, and you like talking to them too. So I feel like you're kind of like, you might be in the boat of like, well, at least I'll have a friend. This person can at least be my friend. Which is telling me this might become more as it keeps going forward. Now, what I'm getting here at the bottom is what they're saying. You will have success at some point with this person. But this is the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands for me is like, if you think of success like somebody's handing you $1,000, if you think of that as success, this version of success is kind of like you'll get that $1,000, but the way you get it is like people will tell you, oh, you can make extra money here, you can make extra money there. If you do a little bit of this or you sell that, you can make that extra money and you'll still get your success, but you're going to have to work for it for success. That's the Seven of Wands in this, at least in this deck for me. It's working for the success. You'll still have your success, but it's going to take a bit of work and effort on your part to make it happen. The thing is, you're a little hindered here with the Five of Swords in your thoughts, kind of like, well, yeah, I could work on this a little bit. I could try to get their attention a little more. But if they can't move forward, like, it's kind of like a stalemate. It's kind of like I could try to get their attention more. I could move forward towards them a little more, get some conversations going a little more. That seems to like it's easily in your realm of doing. But you're like, it's not going to make a difference. You're feeling like it's not going to make a difference. That's the Seven or the Five of Swords, the stalemate, the fruitless wind. I could get their attention, just not to the point that I want their attention. I want to go farther. Remember again, the Lover's card is at the bottom. So love is possible here. It is. It's up to you whether you're going to go through this to get it or not with this person. Now, what I'm getting here in the future, things start to change and balance seems to come into play a little more because I'm getting like, you got the Justice card with the extreme. So, how do I put this? Because it is extreme. Extreme justice is kind of like, ooh, it's kind of like lynch mob mentality. I mean, this is a love reading, so we're not going that way, but it's kind of like that. It's kind of like, you know, somebody did something wrong, and the mob gets together and makes it right. Yeah. So, I don't know why I'm using that analogy, but I feel like what this is saying is like mutual feelings come forward fairly soon in the future. And like it's subjective, this is a general read, but fairly soon, like maybe 2-3 months at the longest from whenever you're watching this, by the way. It's going to come forward. This person is going to give you, like, the action is like pent-up action. Like, that Three of Swords has been holding it back, but they've been growing feelings for you for a while. So it's pent-up action. It finally, like, there's a moment here, it comes forward, Justice is saying this is how they feel about you, you're reciprocating, it's coming forward very strongly. It's extremes with the Justice, kind of like so you both know how each of you feel. But this person is this is a slow-moving energy still. That's the thing. It makes me feel like you're going along like this, and it goes poof, and then it goes down. And it's higher than it was. It's better than it was, but it's going to come back down. And with Justice with the extremes, it's like you're going to have this spike of emotion, but it's going to come back down. Be aware of it. This moment happens. It's coming. When I see this happening, afterwards, you got the High Priestess, you got this, is that the Six of Pentacles? Yes, Six of Pentacles, and the Discernment right on top of it. Now, all of this together is telling me, I feel like you're pretty well evened out on what's going on here. Like, they showed you a lot of passion, you reciprocated that, you'd like to keep that going, is what I'm getting. But you're also kind of like, you know, it was like, famine, 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 feast, and now you're like, it's kind of like there's hardly anything, then you got, like, a feast. Then you're like, well, you know, now we have like some potatoes and some leftover meat hanging out here. It's kind of like I got enough to sustain me here, potatoes and leftover meat. I don't know if that sounds bad, but you know what I'm saying. There's enough here to keep it going after this, but you're like, it was like I was starving, feast, and now we have there's more than there was, but it's not the feast that it was. The feast, it's not like you had a feast and it kept the feast going from here on out. Feast, and then it goes back down to like a normal rations, you know, some meat, some potatoes, stuff like that. It's good, but it's not the feast that it was for a moment there. And the discernment here is kind of like you're realizing this person can't jump forward that fast. They can't do it, and you know they can't. But you're like, this is the part we have to decide, like, how much do you want to give to it? How much is this worth? How do you feel about this person? If this works out, because it should get stronger the longer it goes, and I feel like you're catching on to that. Like, this is a person that you don't have to prove yourself to, but that they have to build their confidence in you. I hope this is coming across. It's not like you don't have to prove yourself to them, they simply have to build their confidence in you. It's different. Like, it's not like you've done anything wrong or there's really anything you can do to make things better. They just need time to get to know you and get to see how you are and build that confidence in you that you already have. They just need to see, like, oh, this is how you are. Oh, that's how you do things. This is your pattern. They need to get to know you more. Like, I hope that comes across right. And it's kind of like, do you have the patience to let this take time? And is it worth it for you with the the High Priestess? The discernment is like you're seeing it for what it is after this, and you're realizing it's going to get better over time. The question is, do you want to hold out and wait for it? And that's where this is ending. And I think we're there. All right. We're going to wrap this up here. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.